Imagine standing in a 19th century factory town. The air thick with coal smoke, its acrid temps stinging your nose as steam engines clatter, their iron rhythm shaking the cobblestone under your boots. It's 1800, and the world is shifting. In industry, politics, and technology are forging a global web. Hear the rustle of revolutionary pamphlets, their ink sharp as voices in taverns demand liberty. Feel the creak of wooden ships, their sails taut, carrying goods and dreams across oceans. Smell the spices of distant markets, a sensory bridge between continents. Historical records chart this era's upheavals, the industrial revolutions, machines, the American and French quests for freedom, and telegraph wires humming with global whispers. Your modern world, instant texts, global feeds would falter in this age of slow letters and smoky skies. Step into this journey now, through factories, battlefields, and digital dawns, where human resilience wove a connected world. Yet, progress came at a cost. Let the gentle rhythm of this era's story unfold, from clanging looms to clicking keyboards, carrying you towards sleep. And yet, the world spun on. For a moment, picture yourself in a bustling British factory town, 1820, where the air is thick with the acrid sting of coal smoke, its grey haze curling around your nose as you step onto cobblestone streets, their uneven surface gritty under your worn boots. You're a young worker, barely 18, your hands calloused from looms, your apron dusted with soot from the factory nearby. The clanging roar of steam engines fills the air, a relentless rhythm shaking the ground, their iron pistons hissing like a beast that never sleeps. Feel the rough weave of your woolen shawl, its threads heavy with damp from the morning mist, as you hurry toward the mill. Hear the shrill whistle of the overseer, cutting through the chatter of workers, men, women, children, shuffling toward their shifts. Smell the oily temps of machinery, mingling with the faint sweat of crowded bodies in the cramped factory. This is the dawn of the Industrial Revolution, a world of mechanization and urban sprawl, where looms and steam reshape lives. Step into this smoky, clattering world now, where labor and progress collide, and let the gentle rhythm of its story unfold, revealing why your modern comforts would falter in this era of toil and transformation. And yet, the world spun on. For a moment, you approach the factory, its brick walls looming, their surface blackened by soot, cool and rough under your fingers as you brush past. The air is heavy with coal dust, its gritty bite coating your throat as you step inside. The roar of spinning jennies deafening, their wooden frames shuddering with each turn. Feel the sticky heat of the mill, the air thick with cotton fibers that cling to your apron, their faint musty scent mixing with machine oil. Hear the clatter of looms, a rhythmic thud that drowns out voices as children dart between machines, their small hands quick but weary. Smell the faint grease of gears, their metallic tang sharp as you thread a bobbin, your fingers sore from hours of work. Historical records, like factory ledgers from Manchester, show the first industrial revolution, 1760 to 1840, transformed Britain with mechanized textiles, spinning jennies water frames, doubling output by 1820. Workers, often rural migrants, faced 14-hour days in hazardous mills, per worker diaries. Your hand grips the loom's wooden handle, its grain worn smooth as you work. The overseer's whistle a constant prod. Your modern workplace, clean offices, ergonomic chairs, would falter here, where toil was relentless and air choked with dust. And yet, the world spun on. For a moment, you leave the factory at dusk. The air cooler, but still thick with coal smoke. Its acrid scent lingering as you walk through crowded streets, their cobblestones slick with mud. The town hums with life, vendors hawking bread, their voices hoarse, and the clop of horse carts delivering coal. Feel the rough cobblestone under your boots, their soles thin. As you navigate the narrow alleys to your tenement, its wooden door creaking, its surface splintered. Hear the soft cries of children, the murmur of families in cramped rooms. Their walls damp and peeling, their musty scent heavy in the air. Smell the faint staleness of boiled cabbage from a shared kitchen, its steam rising in the chilly stairwell. Archival records, like those from London's 1830s surveys, describe urban slums housing thousands of workers, with families of 6 sharing single rooms, sanitation scarce. Your hand brushes the tenement's wall, its plaster crumbling as you climb the stairs. Your body aching from the day's labor. Your modern comforts, spacious homes, clean air, would struggle here, where life was a cycle of work and rest in crowded, smoky spaces. And yet the world spun on. For a moment, you sit on a straw mattress, its lumps pressing into your back. As you eat a supper of bread and thin soup, the bread's crust hard, its stale scent mixing with the faint tang of broth. The air carries the distant clang of a factory bell, signaling the night shift, a reminder of the endless rhythm of work. Feel the rough wooden table, its surface scarred, as you break the bread, its crumbs scattering. Hear the soft creak of the floorboards, the muffled voices of neighbors through thin walls, their words a mix of hope and exhaustion. Smell the faint soot on your hands, a residue of the day's toil as you sip the lukewarm soup, its flavor bland but filling. Worker diaries, like those of Lancashire weavers, describe meager diets and long hours, with wages barely covering rent and food. Your hand rests on the table, its wood cool, as you listen to a neighbor's cough, a sign of the lung ailments common in factory towns. Per 19th century medical reports, your modern abundance, fresh groceries, clean water, would feel distant here, where every meal was a necessity, not a pleasure. And yet, the world spun on. For a moment, morning brings you back to the factory. The air sharper now, with early spring chill. The coal smoke thicker as furnaces roar to life. The cobblestone street is slick underfoot, its surface gleaming with dawn's dew. As you join the stream of workers, their faces pale from long hours. Feel the rough weave of your shawl, its threads damp as you pull it tight against the cold. Hear the clanging steam engine, its rhythm faster now, driving looms that churn out cotton faster than any hand could weave, per industrial output records, showing a tenfold increase by 1840. The factory's air is stifling, its heat pressing against your skin as you take your place at the loom, the wooden frame creaking under your hands. Smell the oily tang of machinery, its scent sharp as you. Thread the cotton, your fingers nimble but sore. Survivor accounts, like those in parliamentary reports, detail child labor and accidents, limbs caught in machines, lungs choked by dust. Your modern safety, regulated hours, clean workplaces would falter here, where danger was routine and rest a luxury. And yet, the world spun on. For a moment, by mid-century, the second industrial revolution dawns, bringing new machines, steel looms, steam-powered presses, and the air grows heavier with the metallic tents of ironworks, their clang echoing through the town. Feel the smooth steel of a new machine, its surface cool as you learn its rhythm, faster and louder than the old looms. Hear the whistle of a steam locomotive nearby, its shrill call signaling goods moving to distant ports. Per trade records showing Britain's exports tripling by 1870. The factory is larger now, its brick walls towering, their soot-blackened surface warm under your fingers as you pass. Smell the faint chemical sting of dyes used to color textiles for global markets, their scent sharp in the crowded mill. Historical context from factory logs shows mechanization spreading, Bessemer steel, electricity transforming production, but deepening class divides, with workers' wages stagnant per economic studies. Your hand grips the machine's lever, its metal worn. As you work, the overseer's shadow looming. Your modern world, automated jobs, fair wages, would struggle here, where labor was grueling and wealth concentrated above. And yet, the world spun on for a moment. You return to the tenement at night, the air thick with the scent of coal fires, their smoke curling through the alley, stinging your eyes. The wooden stairs creak underfoot, their surface splintered as you climb to your room. Its walls damp with mildew, its musty scent heavy. Feel the rough straw mattress, its lumps shifting as you lie down, the faint warmth of a thin blanket barely easing the chill. Hear the distant clatter of a factory, its rhythm unending, mingled with the soft snores of your roommates. They're breathing a quiet counterpoint to the town's hum. Smell the faint grease on your hands, a reminder of the day's machines as you close your eyes, dreaming of a better life. Worker diaries describe hopes of escape, unions forming, strikes brewing, yet daily survival consumed most per labor movement records. Your hand rests on the bed frame, its wood familiar as you drift toward sleep. The factory's roar a constant lullaby. Your modern comforts, quiet homes, fair work, would falter here, where life was toil and smoke. And yet the world spun on. For a moment, the town grows louder with each year, new factories rising, their chimneys belching smoke that darkens the sky. Per environmental reports noting air pollution's rise by the 1880s, the air carries the sharp temps of chemicals used in textiles and steel as you walk to work. The cobblestones now paved in places, their surface smoother but still gritty. Feel the weight of your lunch pail, its tin cool, holding a crust of bread and a bit of cheese, their faint staleness a daily ritual. Hear the clanging bells of trams, newly introduced, their tracks gleaming under gas lamps, per urban planning records. The factory's air is hotter now, electric lights flickering, their hum a new addition. Per patent records of the 1870s, smell the faint metallic scent of steel tools. Their edges sharp as you adjust the loom, its speed dizzying. Your modern ease, clean energy, safe machines would feel alien here, where progress meant noise and grime. And yet, the world spun on. For a moment, you join a crowd outside the factory, whispers of a strike stirring. The air tense with the scent of sweat and coal as workers gather. Their voices low but defiant. Per union records of the 1880s, feel the rough paper of a pamphlet, its ink sharp, calling for better wages as you clutch it, your heart quickening. Hear the shouts of an organizer, his words drowned by the overseer's whistle, signaling work must resume. Smell the faint gunpowder of a distant demonstration, a hint of unrest rippling through the town. Historical context shows labor movements, growing, with strikes in Manchester and London demanding shorter hours, per parliamentary reports. Your hand grips the pamphlet, its edges curling. As you return to the loom, the machine's roar swallowing hope. Your modern rights, fair pay, safe conditions, would struggle here, where change was slow and toil relentless. And yet, the world spun on for a moment. Reflect on this era where the industrial revolution's roar shapes every moment. The air thick with coal smoke and the clanging hum of machines. You lie on your mattress, the factory's rhythm a distant lullaby. The voices of neighbors fading into murmurs of exhaustion and hope. Smell the faint soot on your hands, a mark of your labor as you dream of a better life. Hear the clatter of looms, a reminder of the world's transformation. Historical records, ledgers, diaries, paint a picture of grueling work in emerging cities, yet pulsing with human resilience. Feel the weight of your apron, its fabric worn, holding your place in this changing world. Your modern life, clean, quiet, fair, would bend under this era's grime and toil, where every day was a battle for survival. Let this scene linger, the nights calm a testament to their endurance, as we move to the next chapter of liberty's revolutions. And yet, the world spun on. For a moment, picture yourself in a smoky Philadelphia tavern, 1776, where the air is thick with the sharp scent of ink from freshly printed pamphlets, their pages rustling in the hands of colonists debating freedom. You're a young apprentice, your fingers stained with ink, your woolen coat heavy with the damp chill of a summer evening. The wooden floor creaks underfoot, its surface worn smooth by boots as candlelight flickers, casting shadows on rough-hewn walls. Hear the murmur of voices, farmers, merchants, artisans, arguing over liberty, their words punctuated by the clink of pewter mugs. Feel the coarse paper of a pamphlet, its edges curling, as you read words of rebellion that spark hope and fear. Smell the faint gunpowder from a musket leaned in the corner, its metallic tang a reminder of battles looming. This is the age of revolutions, American, French, Latin American, where ideas of equality and self-rule ignite, reshaping nations. Step into this world now, where quills scratch and crowds cheer, and let the gentle rhythm of their fight for liberty unfold, revealing why your modern stability would falter in this era of fragile dreams and violent change. And yet, the world spun on. For a moment, you sit at a scarred wooden table, its surface sticky with spilled ale as the tavern hums with debate. The air warm with the scent of burning tallow candles, their wax dripping onto the floor. Feel the smooth quill in your hand, its feather soft, as you copy a pamphlet's words. Liberty, rights, independence, your fingers aching from the effort. Hear the creak of the door as a messenger bursts in, his voice breathless with news of battles. The crowd's cheers rising like a wave. Smell the faint sweat of bodies packed close, their woolen coats damp from rain as they argue over taxes. And kings, historical records, like the Declaration of Independence and common sense pamphlets, show the American Revolution 1775 to 1783 fueled by Enlightenment ideals, with colonists rallying against British rule per archival letters. Your hand grips the pamphlet, its ink smudging, as you listen to a farmer's fiery words, his call for freedom echoing in the smoky air. Your modern democracy, stable, structured, would falter here, where liberty was a fragile spark, fought with muskets and hope. And yet, the world spun on. For a moment, you step outside, the cobblestone street slick under your boots, its surface cool with evening dew. As the air carries the distant crack of muskets, their gunpowder sent sharp on the breeze, feel the rough weave of your coat, its patches worn. As you join a crowd marching toward the town square, their lanterns swaying, casting golden flickers on the stones. Hear the rhythmic tramp of boots, the chant of no taxation without representation, blending with the soft rustle of flags bearing stars and stripes. Smell the faint smoke of campfires where militias gather, their voices low but resolute. Revolutionary War records, like those of the Continental Army, describe ragtag soldiers facing British forces, with battles like Lexington 1775 igniting rebellion per military logs. Your hand brushes the smooth barrel of a musket, its wood cool, as you stand among the crowd, your heart pounding with their defiance. Your modern peace, structured governance, global treaties would struggle here, where freedom was won through blood and ink. And yet, the world spun on. For a moment, across the ocean, in a Parisian street, 1789, the air is thick with the scent of gunpowder and sweat, as crowds gather, their shouts echoing off stone walls, their banners flapping in. The wind, you're a young baker's apprentice, your apron dusted with flour, its coarse linen heavy as you join the march to Versailles. Feel the cobblestone underfoot, its surface uneven as you clutch a pamphlet, its ink sharp, proclaiming liberty and equality. Hear the clatter of carts, the cries of liberté, eagle-eyed, fraternite, blending with the distant boom of cannons. Smell the faint bread from your bakery, now stale in your pocket, a reminder of hunger fueling revolt. French Revolution records, like Robespierre's speeches, show Enlightenment ideals sparking upheaval. With 1789's Bastille storming marking a turning point, per archival documents, your hand grips a wooden staff, its grain rough, as you march. The crowd's fervor a tidal wave. Your modern rights, equality, stability, would falter here, where revolution meant chaos and hope entwined. And yet, the world spun on. For a moment, in a Latin American village, 1810, the air carries the scent of dust and horse sweat. As you, a young farmer, stand in a plaza, the sun warming your straw hat, its weave coarse against your brow. Feel the smooth handle of a machete, its blade glinting. As you listen to a priest's call for independence, his voice rising above the crowd. Hear the soft clop of hooves, the rustle of palm fronds, and the distant crack of muskets as rebels rally against Spanish rule. Smell the faint smoke of burning torches, their light flickering on adobe walls as the crowd chants for freedom. Historical records, like Simon Bolivar's letters, detail Latin American revolutions 1810 to 1830, with nations like Mexico and Venezuela breaking colonial chains per independence charters. Your hand brushes the coarse fabric of your poncho, its weight grounding you as you join the shout, your heart alight with hope. Your modern stability, global alliances, clear borders would struggle here, where new nations were carved in blood and dust. And yet, the world spun on. For a moment, back in the tavern, now 1820, the air is warm with the scent of tallow and ale. As you sit, the wooden bench hard, its surface polished by countless debates. Feel the smooth quill, its ink staining your fingers as you write a letter to a friend describing the new American nation, its promise fragile but growing. Hear the creak of the floor, the murmur of voices discussing constitutions, their words cautious yet hopeful. Smell the faint ink of a newspaper, its pages worn, reporting French and Latin American revolts, sparking dreams of global liberty. Archival records, like early US congressional debates, show the challenges of building a republic, with fledgling democracies facing internal strife per 1820s journals. Your hand rests on the table, its wood scarred, as you dream of a stable future the taverns hum a quiet pulse. Your modern governance, structured, predictable, would falter here, where every vote was a gamble on freedom. And yet, the world spun on. For a moment, evening falls, and you step into the street, the air cooler, carrying the scent of rain and gunpowder. As lanterns glow, their light flickering on cobblestones. Feel the rough weave of your scarf, its threads damp as you walk past a crowd reading a proclamation, its paper crisp, declaring rights for all. Hear the soft rustle of pages, the distant cheer of a rally, blending with the creak of a cart delivering muskets. Smell the faint wax of a sealed letter, its contents a plea for unity. As you pass a courier, his horse's hooves clopping. Revolutionary. Artifacts, like liberty caps and muskets, show the era's fervor, with symbols of freedom uniting diverse peoples per museum collections. Your hand brushes the smooth stone of a wall, its surface cool as you pause. The crowd's hope a quiet fire in the night. Your modern world, stable laws, global rights would feel distant here, where liberty was a fragile dream fought with ink and blood. And yet, the world spun on. For a moment, reflect on this era where revolutions of liberty pulse through. Taverns and battlefields, the air thick with gunpowder and the rustle of pamphlets. You lie on a straw mattress, the taverns hum a distant lullaby. The voices of rebels fading into whispers of freedom, new nations, new rights, new hopes. Smell the faint ink on your fingers, a mark of your dreams, as you drift towards sleep. Hear the creak of a new world, its foundations shaky but bold. Historical records, declarations, letters, paint a picture of fragile democracies born in chaos, yet pulsing with resilience. Feel the weight of your coat, its fabric worn, holding your place in this changing world. Your modern life, stable, connected, would bend under this era's violence and uncertainty, where every cry for liberty was a step into the unknown. Let this scene linger, the night's calm a testament to their courage, as we move to the next chapter of global webs expanding. And yet, the world spun on. For a moment, imagine yourself aboard a creaking merchant ship in 1820, docked at a bustling London port where the air is thick with the briny tank of sea salt, mingling with the rich, heady scent of spices, cloves, cinnamon, tea, stacked in crates along the wharf. You're a young sailor, your hands rough from hemp ropes, their coarse fibers biting into your palms as you secure a sail, its canvas heavy with damp. The wooden deck sways gently beneath your boots, its planks worn smooth by the Atlantic's spray, their surface slick with morning dew. Hear the shouts of dock workers, their voices blending with the rhythmic slap of waves against the hull, and the distant clatter of horse carts unloading goods. Feel the weight of your woolen jacket, its weave sodden, as you inhale the faint tar of the ship's caulking, a sharp note in the salty air. This is the era of early globalization, where colonial empires and trade routes weave a fragile web across oceans, connecting distant lands. Step into this world now, where ships and markets pulse with commerce, and let the gentle rhythm of their journeys unfold, revealing why your modern instant connections would falter in this age of slow sails and colonial shadows. And yet, the world spun on. For a moment, you stand on the deck, the air cool with the scent of salt and wet wood, as you coil a rope, its rough texture scraping your fingers, calloused from weeks at sea. The port bustles, its cobblestone wharf gleaming under gas lamps, their flicker casting shadows on crates marked for India, China, and the Americas. Hear the creak of the ship's timbers, a low groan as it shifts with the tide, mingled with the clink of coins in a merchant's pouch, bartering for silk. Smell the faint sweetness of tea chests, their aroma rich, a prize of the British East India Company, per trade records showing millions of pounds imported by 1820. Feel the smooth edge of a ship's logbook, its pages crisp. As you note the day's cargo, your quill scratching softly. Historical context from maritime archives details the expansion of colonial trade. British, Dutch, Spanish empires, linking continents through opium, tea, and cotton, often at the cost of colonized lives. Your hand grips the railing, its wood. Cool as you watch the port's chaos, a hub of global exchange. Your modern logistics, fast shipping, digital trade, would falter here, where weeks at sea carried the world's goods. And yet, the world spun on. For a moment, you step onto the wharf, the cobblestone uneven underfoot, its surface slick with fish oil and sea spray. As you weave through crowds, sailors, traders, porters, shouting in languages you barely understand. The air carries the sharp scent of tar from ship repairs, mingling with the earthy tang of tobacco bales, their leaves bound for distant markets. Feel the weight of a canvas sack slung over your shoulder, its contents, cotton samples, heavy as you deliver it to a merchant stall. Hear the clatter of barrels rolling down planks, the soft rustle of silk unfurled for inspection, its sheen glinting in the morning light. Smell the faint spice of cloves, their aroma drifting from an open crate. A reminder of trade routes stretching to Asia per East India Company ledgers. Colonial records show global trade booming. British exports doubled from 1800 to 1850, yet built on exploitation, with opium wars forcing open Chinese markets. Per 1839 treaty accounts, your hand brushes the smooth silk, its texture cool as you barter, the ports hum a pulse of global connection. Your modern ease, online markets, instant delivery, would struggle here, where trade was slow and fraught. And yet, the world spun on. For a moment, aboard the ship again, bound for Calcutta, the air grows warmer, carrying the briny scent of the open sea as the deck sways underfoot, its planks creaking with each wave. Feel the coarse rope in your hands, its fibers rough as you haul a sail, the canvas snapping in the wind. Hear the rhythmic creak of the mast, the distant call of a lookout, and the soft slap of waves against the hull, a steady lullaby of the voyage. Smell the faint must of your bunk below deck, its straw mattress damp, as you rest between shifts, the ship's logbook noting days at sea, per maritime records of 1820s voyagers averaging 6 weeks to India. The air carries the faint tang of salt pork, its greasy scent rising from the galley, a staple for sailors, per ship manifests. Your hand grips a tin mug, its metal cool, as you sip watery tea, its bitterness a small comfort. Your modern travel, fast flights, instant tracking, would falter here, where journeys were measured in weeks and survival uncertain. And yet the world spun on. For a moment, you arrive in Calcutta, 1820s, the air thick with the scent of cardamom and dust. As you step onto a bustling dock, its wooden planks warm underfoot, their surface scarred by carts, feel the smooth edge of a coin, its metal worn as you're paid for your labor, the silver glinting in the tropical sun. Hear the shouts of merchants, their voices a chorus of Hindi, English, and Bengali, bargaining over tea and opium, per colonial trade logs showing Britain's dominance in India. Smell the faint sweetness of jute bales, their fibers coarse, stacked for export to Europe, where factories await. Historical context from East India Company records reveals colonial exploitation. Taxes, forced crops, fueling global trade while impoverishing locals, per 1830s reports. Your hand brushes the rough weave of a sack, its weight heavy as you carry it to a warehouse. The port's chaos, a microcosm of globalization. Your modern fairness, regulated trade, global ethics would struggle here, where profit trumped justice. And yet, the world spun on. For a moment, back at sea, bound for London, the air grows cooler, carrying the scent of salt and wet canvas as storms lash the deck, its planks slick under your boots. Feel the cold iron of a lantern, its glass fogged as you check the sails. The wind howling through the rigging. Hear the creak of the ship's hull, a deep groan blending with the crash of waves. A reminder of the ocean's power, per ship logs, noting frequent losses to storms. Smell the faint must of damp ropes, their fibers sodden as you tie them down, your hands aching. The air carries the faint tang of vinegar from preserved rations, their sourness a daily meal, per sailor diaries. Your hand grips the ship's wheel, its wood worn as you steer through the night, stars guiding your path. Your modern safety, GPS, weather apps, would falter here, where navigation relied on stars and luck. And yet, the world spun on, for a moment in a London tavern, 1840. The air is warm with the scent of ale and pipe smoke. As you sit, the wooden bench hard, its surface polished by countless sailors. Feel the smooth edge of a letter, its paper crisp, as you write home, describing distant ports and goods, your quill scratching softly. Hear the clink of mugs, the murmur of sailors swapping tales of Calcutta and Canton, their voices a tapestry of global journeys. Smell the faint ink of a trade ledger, its pages open on the table, detailing profits from tea and silk. Per British trade records showing exports tripling by 1850, historical context reveals steamships and telegraphs shrinking. The world, with Britain's empire spanning continents, per colonial archives. Your hand rests on the table, its wood scarred. As you dream of home, the taverns hum a pulse of global connection. Your modern world, instant texts, global markets, would feel distant here, where news traveled by sail. And yet, the world spun on for a moment. Reflect on this era, where global webs expand through creaking ships and bustling ports. The air thick with spices and the rhythmic slap of waves. You lie in your bunk, the ship's creak a gentle lullaby. Sailors' voices fading into murmurs of distant lands. India, China, America. Smell the faint tar on your hands, a mark of your labor as you drift toward sleep. Hear the hum of global trade, its pulse connecting continents. Historical records, trade logs, colonial reports paint a picture of a world linked by commerce, yet shadowed by exploitation. Feel the weight of your jacket, its fabric worn, holding your place in this global dance. Your modern life, fast, fair, connected, would bend under this era's slow, perilous trade, where every voyage was a gamble. Let this scene linger, the night's calm a testament to their resilience, as we move to the next chapter of technological tides. And yet, the world spun on. For a moment, imagine yourself in a bustling city telegraph office, 1905, where the air hums with the sharp crackle of sparking wires, their electric buzz tingling your ears as you sit at a wooden desk, its surface worn smooth by countless messages. You're a young telegraph operator, your fingers nimble on the brass key, its cool metal clicking under your touch as you tap out coded signals. The room smells of ozone and ink, the faint chemical temps of telegraph paper mixing with the dusty scent of coal heat from a nearby stove. Feel the rough wool of your vest, its weave tight against the chill of an early morning. As gas lamps flicker, casting soft shadows on the office's peeling walls, hear the clatter of a passing automobile outside. Its engine's throaty roar, a new sound in the cobblestone streets, blending with the distant whistle of a steam train. This is the age of the technological tide, where electricity, cars, and radios shrink the world, connecting lives in ways once unimaginable. Step into this sparking, humming world now, where innovation reshapes daily life, and let the gentle rhythm of its progress unfold, revealing why your modern digital ease would falter in this era of clunky machines and dizzying change. And yet, the world spun on. For a moment, you sit at your telegraph station, the wooden chair creaking under you, its surface hard as you lean forward, the brass key cool and smooth under your fingers. The air is warm with the scent of hot metal from the telegraph machine, its wires sparking faintly, their electric hum a steady pulse in the quiet office. Feel the crisp paper of a telegram, its edges sharp as you transcribe a message from London. To New York, the ink's bitter scent sharp in your nose. Hear the rhythmic tap-tap of the key, each click sending words across oceans. A marvel of 1900s technology, per patent records showing telegraph networks. Spanning continents by 1900, smell the faint coal smoke drifting through an open window. A reminder of the city's industrial heart, its factories powering this new age. Historical context from Western Union archives details how telegraphs cut communication time from weeks to minutes, linking global markets and families. Your hand grips the key, its metal worn, as you tap out a message. The office's hum a quiet thrill. Your modern connectivity, instant texts, global calls, would falter here, where messages were slow and deliberate, each click a small victory. And yet, the world spun on. For a moment, you step outside, the cobblestone street slick under your boots, its surface gleaming with morning mist as the city wakes, its air thick with coal smoke and the faint rubbery scent of automobile tires. Feel the smooth handle of a bicycle, its iron frame cool as you ride past shops, their glass windows reflecting the flicker of new electric lights. Per city records, noting electrification spreading by 1910, hear the roar of a Model T Ford, its engine stuttering as it navigates the crowded street, a sound that drowns out the clop of horse carts. Per automotive sales showing millions of cars by the 1920s, smell the oily temps of gasoline, a sharp new scent in the air as you pause, watching workers stream toward factories now lit by Edison's bulbs. Their glow a symbol of progress, per patent filings. Your hand brushes the rough wool of your cap, its brim shielding your eyes, as you marvel at the city's transformation, its streets alive with machines. Your modern ease, electric grids, smooth cars, would struggle here, where technology was loud, clunky, and new. And yet, the world spun on. For a moment, in a crowded tenement, your home, the air is heavy with the scent of boiled cabbage and coal dust. As you sit at a wooden table, its surface scarred by years of meals, feel the coarse linen of a napkin, its weave rough as you eat. A supper of bread and stew, the bread's crust stale but filling, its scent mixing with the faint must of damp walls. Hear the soft crackle of a radio in the corner, its static voice a novelty, broadcasting news from distant cities, per radio adoption records showing millions of households tuning in by the 1930s. Smell the faint wax of a candle, lit to save. Electricity, its glow casting shadows on peeling wallpaper. Personal accounts, like worker diaries from the 1910s, describe families gathering round radios, their voices uniting distant lives, while tenements housed growing urban populations per census data. Your hand rests on the table, its wood cool. As you listen to the radio's hum, a window to a shrinking world, your modern media, streaming apps, instant news would falter here, where a single broadcast was a shared wonder. And yet, the world spun on. For a moment, you walked to a cinema, 1920s, the air cool with evening dew, carrying the faint scent of popcorn and the chemical tang of film reels. As you enter a dimly lit theater, its wooden seats creaking under you. Feel the smooth ticket stub, its paper soft, as you settle in, the screen flickering with silent images, their grainy motion a marvel. Per film industry records, showing cinemas booming by 1925. Hear the soft clatter of the projector, its rhythmic hum blending with the piano's notes, played to accompany the film, a story of distant lands. Smell the faint dust of the velvet curtain, its texture heavy as it frames the screen, drawing gasps from the crowd. Historical context from early film archives details how movies connected cultures, with Hollywood's reach growing global by the 1930s. Your hand grips the seat's armrest. It's wood-worn as you watch the flickering images a bridge to new worlds. Your modern screens, high definition, on demand, would feel distant here, where films were a shared, fleeting magic. And yet, the world spun on. For a moment, back at the telegraph office, 1930s, the air is warmer now, electric heaters humming, their metallic scent mingling with the ozone of sparking wires. Feel the smooth brass of a newer telegraph key. It clicks faster as you send messages across continents. Per records showing global telegraph networks handling millions of messages. Yearly, hear the clatter of typewriters, their keys a new rhythm as offices modernize, blending with the distant roar of airplanes overhead, a sound of the future. Per aviation logs, noting commercial flights by the 1930s. Smell the faint ink of a newspaper, its pages crisp, reporting technological leaps and global trade. Your hand brushes the rough fabric of your vest, its weave tight. As you work, the office's hum a pulse of connectivity. Your modern devices, smartphones, instant apps, would struggle here, where each message was a labor, each innovation a marvel. And yet, the world spun on. For a moment, evening brings you to a factory district, the air thick with coal smoke and the metallic temps of steel. As you pass towering machines, their clanging rhythm echoing through the streets, per industrial. Records showing mass production surging by the 1940s. Feel the smooth handle of a wrench, its metal cool, as you help repair a conveyor belt, its rubbery scent sharp in the air. Hear the whistle of a factory shift ending, workers' voices murmuring about unions and wages. Per labor movement records, noting strikes in the 1930s. Smell the faint grease on your hands, a mark of the day's work as you walk home. The city's electric glow, a testament to progress. Your hand rests on a lamppost, its iron cold. As you pause, the hum of machines, a constant lullaby. Your modern workplaces, automated, clean, would falter here, where labor was loud and grimy. And yet, the world spun on. For a moment, reflect. On this era, where the technological tide reshapes cities and lives, the air thick with ozone and the hum of new machines. You lie in your tenement bed, the radios crackle a distant lullaby, neighbors' voices fading into murmurs of progress and dreams. Smell the faint ink on your fingers, a mark of your telegrams as you drift towards sleep. Hear the city's hum, its electric pulse connecting the world. Historical records, patents, diaries paint a picture of clunky innovations and urban growth, yet pulsing with human resilience. Feel the weight of your vest, its fabric worn, holding your place in this changing world. Your modern life, digital, seamless, would bend under this era's loud, fragile tech, where every spark was a step toward connection. Let this scene linger, the night's calm a testament to their endurance, as we move to the next chapter of wars and global realignments. And yet, the world spun on. For a moment, picture yourself in a muddy French village, 1916, where the air is thick with the acrid sting of gunpowder, its bitter scent clinging to your nose as you huddle in a makeshift shelter, its wooden walls damp and splintered. You're a young civilian, your woolen coat heavy with rain, its coarse with sodden as you clutch a letter, its paper soft and creased from a brother at the front. The ground trembles with the distant boom of artillery, a low rumble that shakes the cobblestone under your boots, their soles caked with mud. Hear the soft rustle of propaganda posters flapping in the wind, their ink smudged, urging sacrifice for the Great War. Smell the faint must of rationed bread, its crust hard in your pocket, a reminder of scarce times. This is the era of world wars and decolonization, where global conflicts redraw borders and independence movements birth new nations. Step into this world now, where trenches and rallies pulse with struggle, and let the gentle rhythm of their resilience unfold, revealing why your modern stability would falter in this age of chaos and sacrifice. And yet, the world spun on. For a moment, you stand outside the shelter, the air cold and heavy with the scent of wet earth and smoke. As you navigate the village's muddy paths, their surface slick underfoot, feel the smooth paper of the letter, its edges curling as you read your brother's words from the trenches, his ink trembling with fear and hope. Hear the distant crack of rifles, the low drone of aeroplanes overhead, their engines a new sound in 1916, per military records noting World War I's technological leap. Smell the faint oil of a passing supply cart, its wheels creaking, carrying bandages to the front, per Red Cross logs. Historical context from war archives shows the Great War 1914 to 1918 engulfing millions, with trenches stretching across Europe, costing 16 million lives, per casualty reports. Your hand grips the letter, its paper damp as you pass a poster, urging enlistment, its colors faded but bold. Your modern peace, global treaties, instant news would falter here, where war's chaos was a daily pulse, and hope clung to fragile letters. And yet, the world spun on. For a moment, in a London home, 1940, the air is warm but tense, carrying the scent of rationed tea and the faint dust of blackout curtains, their heavy fabric brushing your fingers as you draw them shut. Feel the smooth wood of a radio, its varnish worn as you tune it. The static crackling before a broadcast reports Luftwaffe raids, per BBC archives from World War II. Hear the distant wail of air raid sirens, blending with the soft clatter of dishes as your family shares a meal of boiled potatoes, their earthy scent mingling with the must of a damp cellar. Smell the faint wax of a candle lit to save electricity, its glow flickering on the table. Scarred by years of use, war records show World War II 1939 to 1945 mobilizing millions, with rationing and bombings reshaping civilian life, per government logs. Your hand rests on the radio, its hum a lifeline to news as you listen, the city trembling under distant explosions. Your modern abundance, plentiful food, stable homes, would struggle here, where every meal was rationed, every night uncertain, and yet the world spun on. For a moment, you walk through a bombed-out street, 1942, the air sharp with the scent of charred wood and dust. As you step over rubble, its jagged edges catching your boots. Feel the coarse weave of a scarf, its threads tight as you pull it. Against the chill, the sky grey with smoke. Hear the crunch of glass underfoot, the distant hum of a factory producing tanks. Per industrial records showing wartime production soaring. Smell the faint metallic tang of a soldier's helmet, left abandoned, its surface cold as you pass. A reminder of the war's toll, with 70 million lives lost per global casualty estimates. Your hand brushes a propaganda poster, its paper torn. Urging unity, its ink faded but urgent. Personal accounts, like civilian diaries from the 1940s, describe resilience amid scarcity, with families knitting socks for soldiers and sharing meager rations. Your modern safety, secure cities, instant alerts, would falter here, where survival hinged on grit and hope. And yet, the world spun on. For a moment, in a newly independent Indian town, 1947, the air is warm with the scent of jasmine and dust as you stand in a crowded plaza, the sun hot on your cotton shirt, its weave soft but worn. Feel the smooth edge of an independence flag, its fabric crisp, as you join a celebration, the crowd cheering for freedom from British rule. Hear the rhythmic beat of drums, the rustle of banners proclaiming Jai Hind, blending with the soft chatter of families, their voices alight with hope. Smell the faint spice of street food, samosas, their dough crisp, shared among neighbors. Per oral histories of India's partition, archival records, like the 1947 independence charters, detail decolonization's wave, with nations like India and Pakistan emerging amid struggle, per diplomatic logs. Your hand grips the flag, its colors bright as you cheer the plazas. Joy, a fragile new beginning. Your modern stability, clear borders, global diplomacy would struggle here, where independence was born in chaos and celebration. And yet, the world spun on for a moment. Back in a European city, 1950, the air carries the scent of fresh plaster and sawdust as you help rebuild. The wooden scaffold creaking underfoot, its surface rough with splinters. Feel the smooth handle of a trowel, its metal cool as you spread mortar. The city rising from war's ruins, per reconstruction records noting Europe's recovery post-1945. Hear the clatter of hammers, the soft hum of a radio broadcasting peace talks, a new world, order forming, per United Nations archives. Smell the faint dust of bricks, their gritty scent mingling with the breeze, as workers share stories of survival. Your hand rests on a brick, its surface warm as you pause, the city's pulse a quiet hope. Your modern world, global alliances, instant recovery would falter here, where rebuilding was slow and scars lingered. And yet, the world spun on. For a moment, reflect on this era, where wars and realignments reshaped the globe, the air thick with gunpowder and the rustle of new flags. You lie in a simple bed, the radios hum a distant lullaby, neighbors' voices fading into murmurs of peace and freedom. Smell the faint ink of a newspaper, reporting new nations as you drift toward sleep. Hear the city's quiet pulse, its scars healing. Historical records, war logs, independence charters, paint a picture of chaos and resilience where sacrifice birthed new worlds. Feel the weight of your coat, its fabric worn, holding your place in this turbulent age. Your modern life, peaceful, connected, would bend under this era's violence and rebirth, where every step was a fight for survival. Let this scene linger, the night's calm, a testament to their courage, as we move to the next chapter of the digital age. And yet, the world spun on. For a moment, imagine yourself in a dimly lit server room, 1995, where the air hums with the soft whir of cooling fans and the rhythmic clicking of keyboards, their plastic keys worn smooth by countless lines of code. You're a young coder, your eyes tired, from staring at a CRT screen, its greenish glow reflecting on your glasses. The room smells of ozone and warm plastic, a faint electrical temps mixing with the stale scent of instant coffee. Feel the cool plastic of your mouse, its ball gritty. As you navigate a clunky operating system, the internet a nascent, exciting frontier. Hear the faint dial-up screech of a modem connecting, a digital handshake across distances, and the distant roar of a jet engine from the nearby airport, carrying travelers to new global markets. This is the dawn of the digital and hyper-global age, where information flows instantly and the world shrinks into a single, interconnected market. Step into this buzzing, glowing world now, where algorithms and airlines reshape daily life, and let the gentle rhythm of its rapid evolution unfold, revealing why its speed and reach would have disoriented any past era. And yet, the world spun on. For a moment, you sit at your computer, the screen's light a cool blue on your face, its pixels sharp as you type, the plastic keys clicking a steady rhythm. The air is warm with the gentle hum of the CPU, its internal fans worry softly. As you connect to a nascent online forum, its text-based interface, a gateway to global conversations. Feel the smooth surface of a CD-RAM, its reflective sheen cool as you install new software. The future unfolding byte by byte. Hear the ping of an incoming email, a message from across the world, instantly delivered, a marvel compared to past. Letters. Smell the faint metallic scent of circuitry, mixing with the clean air of the office as you work late into the night, building digital bridges. Historical context from early internet archives shows the World Wide Web expanding rapidly. In the 1990s, connecting universities and businesses globally per NSF NET data. Your hand grips the mouse, its plastic worn. As you explore this new digital landscape, the silence of your room filled with the potential of connection. Your analog past, slow letters, local news would falter here, where information was instant, and the world just a click away. And yet, the world spun on. For a moment, you step into a bustling international airport, 2005. The air crisp with the scent of jet fuel and duty-free perfume. As you navigate through crowds, speaking a dozen languages, feel the smooth plastic of your passport, its pages worn from frequent stamps, as you check in for a flight to Shanghai. The journey now a matter of hours, not weeks. Hear the distant roar of jet engines taking off, a powerful surge of sound, blending with the rapid-fire announcements over the intercom. Smell the faint temps of foreign currency, its paper crisp as you buy a bottle of water, a small transaction. In a vast global economy, global trade agreements like NAFTA and the WTO spurred hyperglobalization from the 1990s, increasing international trade volumes tenfold by 2000 per UN trade reports. Your hand grips the handle of your rolling luggage, its wheels smooth on the polished floor. As you walk toward your gate, the world at your fingertips. Your ancestors' slow sea voyages would falter here, where continents were mere hours apart, and travel was common. And yet, the world spun on. For a moment, in your apartment, 2015, the air is clean and quiet, save for the soft hum of your Wi-Fi router, its blinking lights a testament to constant connection. You're a global citizen, your fingers nimble on a smartphone screen. Its glass cool and smooth under your touch as you video call a friend in Berlin. Feel the smooth metal of your phone, its slim profile a stark contrast to bulky past devices. As you scroll through a global news feed, instantly updated, hear the soft voices of your family from another continent, their faces clear on your screen, bridging thousands of miles, per telecommunications records showing billions of global calls daily. Smell the faint scent of fresh coffee, brewing automatically as you start your day. The world's events unfolding in your palm. Social media platforms and 4G networks further accelerated cultural exchange and instant communication by the 2010s. With over half the world online, per ITU reports, your hand rests on the keyboard of your laptop, its keys responsive as you work remotely with colleagues across time zones. The digital workspace seamless. Your past self, reliant on landlines, slow mail, would falter here, where connections were instant, and the world was always awake. And yet, the world spun on. For a moment, you walk through a smart city, present day, the air fresh with the scent of blooming trees, mingled with the faint, clean tang of electric vehicles gliding silently past. Feel the smooth glass of your smartwatch, its surface warm, as it monitors your health, instantly connecting you to a network of digital services. Hear the gentle chime of smart streetlights adjusting to your presence, the quiet hum of drones delivering packages, and the murmur of diverse languages from passers-by, their voices amplified by the global exchange of cultures. Smell the faint aroma of international cuisine from a nearby restaurant, a fusion of global flavors brought to your doorstep through online delivery. Historical context from big data analytics shows how AI and IoT have intertwined daily life, creating smart environments and hyper-personalized experiences. Per recent tech reports, your hand brushes the cool metal of a public charging station for your electric car, its digital screen glowing as you pause, the city a symphony of interconnected systems. Your early 20th century self, surrounded by clunky machines, slower pace, would be utterly disoriented here, where technology anticipates your needs. And the world is a seamless, constant flow of information. And yet, the world spins on. For a moment, reflect on this era, where the digital and global age reshapes every moment. The air thick with the hum of servers and the roar of jet engines. You lie in your bed, the soft glow of your smartphone a distant lullaby, the voices of distant friends fading into murmurs of global connection. Smell the faint ozone of your devices, a mark of your digital life, as you drift toward sleep. Hear the world's pulse, its hyper-connected rhythm beating globally. Historical records, lines of code, trade documents, flight logs, paint a picture of rapid, disorienting change, yet pulsing with human ingenuity and adaptability. Feel the weight of your smartphone, its familiar presence, holding your place in this ever-evolving world. Your past self, rooted in a slower, more localized existence, would bend under this era's speed and complexity, where every interaction is a thread in a global web. Let this scene linger, The night's calm, a testament to our ongoing transformation as the world spins on, for a moment and forever.